There is a number from this NBA Finals that should end the home court debate forever. 3 games have been played, and the home team has won exactly 0 of them. 0. The Knicks went into San Antonio and stole 2. The Spurs just walked into Madison Square Garden with a president in the building and the loudest crowd in the sport screaming at them and stole one right back. So let me say it plainly. Home court advantage is the most overrated idea in basketball, and this series is the proof. Let that sink in. In a best-of-7 finals, supposedly decided by who protects their building, the visiting team has won every single game. New York stole games 1 and 2 on the road. San Antonio just answered by stealing game 3 on the road. The crowd has been deafening in both cities, and it hasn't mattered even once. This is Game is Culture. Real quick before we dig in, if you like breakdowns that actually show the math instead of just yelling takes at you, go hit subscribe. It's free and it genuinely helps, so click it. First, Game 3 itself. Game 3 was the ultimate test of home court. The Spurs were down 2-0 on the road in New York in front of a national audience and a sitting president. If home court is real, that is the most hostile possible environment, and the Knicks should have buried them. Instead, San Antonio won 115-111. The building did not save the home team. It never does. So this isn't one fluky result. It's the 3rd straight time in this series the road team has gone into enemy territory and walked out with a win. When something happens 3 times in a row in the highest pressure games of the year, it stops being a coincidence and starts being a pattern. And the pattern says the building barely matters. Now let's prove it's not just this series. I pulled every finals game from the last 5 championships, 28 games, and the road team won 11 of them. That's a 39% win rate for the visitors. Almost 40% of finals games, the supposed peak of home court intensity, are won by the team that flew in. That's not a fortress, that's a coin flip with a slight tilt. And before you say the home team still wins more, look closer at why. It is not because the crowd rattles the shooters, because the shooting barely changes at all. Let me show you the numbers that actually expose the myth. Here's home versus road shooting across those 5 finals. Field goal percentage 46-45, basically identical. And from 3, the road teams actually shot better. So the idea that a hostile crowd makes visitors clank shots is just false. Their hands don't shake. The accuracy is the same or better away from home. So where's the real edge? It's small. Home teams outscore the road by about 5 points a game. That's it. 5 points spread across 48 minutes. That's a friendly whistle here, a timely run fueled by the crowd there. It's an edge. It is absolutely not the deciding force everyone treats it as. And 5 points is exactly the kind of gap a better team erases. Quick interruption because now's the time. If this is changing how you see the finals, hit subscribe. I'm not going to beg, but I am going to ask. So hit it and I'll keep going. So why do we believe in it so hard? Because we remember the wrong games. We replay the deafening home closeout, the crowd storming the floor, the confetti. We forget the quiet road win because it never felt like a story. Our memory is built from highlights, and highlights live at home. The data remembers every game equally. We only replay the loud ones, and that fools us into thinking the building wins championships. And the whistle myth dies here too. People swear the refs favor the home crowd, but if that were swinging games, the road team's scoring and accuracy would crater. We just saw that it doesn't. Whatever tiny edge the whistle gives is already baked into that 5-point gap. And that gap still leaves the road team winning 4 out of every 10. Now back to what San Antonio just did. Think about the conditions in Game 3. A 2-0 hole, the Garden at full volume, a president and a national spotlight. Every psychological factor that's supposed to crush a road team was cranked to the maximum. And a young Spurs team, the least experienced group in the building, won anyway. If home court can't save you in those conditions, when can it? And it reframes how you should watch the rest of this series. Everyone will tell you the Knicks are fine because the next game is at home, but home court hasn't won a single game yet. So if New York wins game 4, it'll be because they're the better team, not because of the building. And if San Antonio steals another one, nobody should be shocked. The road team keeps doing it. Now the honest caveat. Let me be fair. Home court isn't literally nothing. That 5-point edge is real, and in a single game 7 with everything on one night, the crowd and the cushion genuinely matter more. So if this series goes the distance, the building will matter more than it has so far. The myth isn't that home court does nothing. The myth is that it decides series. It doesn't. But for the first 6 games of a series, this finals is the cleanest proof we've ever had. 3 games, 3 road wins, in 2 of the loudest buildings in the sport. The teams shot the same on the road as at home. The crowds were enormous and irrelevant. Talent and execution travel. Buildings don't. The Spurs just proved it on the biggest stage there is. And think about why the crowd matters so little to these guys. These are the best players on earth. They've played in front of hostile crowds their whole lives. In college, overseas, in road playoff games. By the time you reach an NBA Finals, a loud building is just another Tuesday. The noise that would overwhelm a normal person is white noise to a professional who's heard it 10,000 times. So for elite players, the intimidation factor is basically zero. If home court has any real mechanism, it isn't the crowd. It's the boring stuff. Sleeping in your own bed, no flights, a normal routine. That's worth a little. But in a finals, both teams get days off between games, charter flights, and 5-star hotels. The travel disadvantage that might matter in a February back-to-back is almost completely erased in June. So even the logistical edge mostly disappears on the biggest stage. And it should change how you process every Game 4 preview you're about to hear. Analysts will say the Knicks have the edge because they're home. But this series has told you 3 separate times that being home is not an edge that decides anything. So when someone hands New York the next game because of the building, remember the scoreboard. Home court is 0 for 3. The crowd doesn't play defense. So here's the real lesson beyond this series. We've turned home court into a giant because it makes a comfortable story. The crowd, the energy, the fortress. But the data, both the 5-year sample and this very finals, keep saying the same thing. It's a nudge, not a law. Teams win the finals with talent and execution. The building just decides how loud it is while they do it. So I'll leave it with you. After watching the home team go 0 for 3 in the finals, do you still believe in home court advantage? Or is it officially the most overrated idea in basketball? Tell me where you land down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. We're in a race to 1,000 subscribers, so please join the family.